In a world where the strong refine heaven and earth, and the weak are ground into dust beneath the tides of fate, legends are not born. They are forged in blood, fire, and unyielding will. Previously, Ling Han stood at the crossroads of destiny, his path strewn with powerful enemies and hidden schemes lurking within the shadows of the divine realm. The struggle for supremacy has only grown fiercer, as ancient forces stir and the balance of power teeters on the brink of chaos. Allies may yet become adversaries, and every step forward demands a price. Now in recap, Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, Chapter 1415, 1416, The Storm Deepens. Secrets long buried begin to surface, and the trials before Ling Han grow ever more perilous. Will his alchemical mastery and indomitable spirit be enough to carve a path through the encroaching darkness? Or will even he falter before the might of the heavens? The tale continues, where fate sharpens its blade, and only the resolute may endure. The sky above the grand imperial garden twisted with fury as the Eternity Sky Emperor's wrath erupted like a tempest unbound. Since the dawn of his life, none had dared to speak to him in such insolent tones, but here stood Ling Han, mocking and fearless. "You dare challenge me?" the Eternity Sky Emperor roared, his voice shaking the heavens themselves. With a surge of energy, his aura ignited into a pillar of divine flames, burning upward into the stratosphere. From this conflagration, fire elemental divine beasts, dragons, phoenixes, kirans, each wreathed in infernal light, sprang forth, their roars rattling the firmament and sending tremors across the garden. Ling Han's lips curled into a taunting smile as he drew a finger in a provocative arc. "Come now," he called. "Shall we wager? I can suppress your might within 1,000 years. Or perhaps we wait for my wife's emergence from seclusion. I dare say she could crush you without breaking a sweat." The Eternity Sky Emperor's eyes blazed. With a ferocious cry, he unleashed an attack that was no ordinary strike. As a 4-star genius at the peak of the heavenly body tier and the sovereign of a majestic empire, his power was magnified by the very strength of the nation itself. The energy coursing through him was beyond comprehension, fueled by centuries of cultivation and the might of his empire. To intercept such a blow seemed impossible. Ling Han summoned the tide of the ages, attempting to resist, yet the force hurled him through the air like a fallen star. He crashed against the stone door, mangled and bloodied, yet he forced himself to stop, his body erupting in a crimson haze. Through the pain, he spat out words laced with derision. "You dare seek my wife's hand with such paltry skill? What a waste of 10 million years of cultivation on a dog." The Eternity Sky Emperor's astonishment mingled with rage. Ling Han, at only the early stage of the medium extreme of the heavenly body tier, already defied expectation. Should he ascend to the high extreme or beyond, who then could hope to challenge him? One thing was certain. The brat must die. A bellow of laughter split the air, and the Jade Drop Emperor hovered into view. With a casual punch, a massive water dragon manifested, rushing at Ling Han in a torrent of liquid steel. The very sound of the waves crashing reverberated through the garden, a testament to the might that sought to crush him. 2 emperors against a mere junior. The audacity was unparalleled, but none dared speak of it. In the realm of supreme cultivation, the judgment of mortals mattered little. Even a mountain river tier cultivator would have been no more than an insect under their gaze. Yet here, their combined might faced Ling Han. With a measured flick, Ling Han plucked a handful of flying fire pills and hurled them into the air. Explosions erupted in succession. Boom, boom, boom! Each blast shaking the earth, casting clouds of smoke and fire as the divine beast's attacks collided with the pill's destructive force. Tide of the Ages flared once more, dispersing the might of the 2 emperors' onslaughts. The spectators gaped. Heavenly body tier emperors, who were believed unstoppable, had failed to subdue Ling Han. Even with borrowed power, he had turned their wrath aside. Shock and awe rippled through the ranks, for the young man's defiance was a spectacle none would forget. The Jade Drop Emperor's sneer faltered. "How many more of these weapons do you possess?" he demanded. Ling Han's reply was a mere wave of the hand, summoning yet another handful of the explosive pills. The sight alone sent a shiver of unease through even the most battle-hardened minds. How could one so young wield such devastation? The 2 emperors could scarcely comprehend that this was merely a fragment of his arsenal, amassed from the hidden fruits of a legendary forest. The command was issued. Attack! Exhaust him of all his tricks. The ranks of the majestic empire surged forward, elite after elite, their numbers overwhelming, 9 at the consummate heavenly body tier, 19 at the high extreme, and numerous others, all advancing without fear. Ling Han's resolve remained calm, yet within, he knew that these flying fire pills would not suffice against such a tide. Then it seems I must unveil my ultimate trump card, he murmured, steeling himself. As the elite cultivators closed in, Ling Han tossed a figure skyward with a casual flourish. A furious cry erupted. Notionless saint, on the brink of Sun Moon tier, flung into the fray, cursing all the while. Yet even he, hollow as his current self was compared to past glory, scanned the battlefield with grim calculation. The sheer force of the enemy would have overwhelmed him were it not for his bond with Ling Han. "Seek death!" the notionless saint thundered, his Genesis tier aura exploding outward as though a saint descended. The heavenly body tier elites froze, terror rooting them in place. Here was an aura that eclipsed all else, a presence they could not hope to challenge. Respect flowed immediately. Bowing deep, even the Eternity Sky Emperor and Jade Drop Emperor acknowledged the notionless saint. Ling Han's meteoric cultivation now made sense. He was guided by an eternal river tier master, a revelation that caused envy and admiration alike. Yet the emperors, cunning and wary, observed the saint closely, noting a brittle fragility beneath his radiant display. "Forgive us, Senior," the Eternity Sky Emperor intoned, a mask of deference upon his face, but in truth, eyes sharpened with suspicion, measuring every subtle shift in the notionless saint's aura. Ling Han's fate still hung in the balance. Sensing their calculation, the notionless saint's calm demeanor hardened. With a humph, his aura surged anew, a mountain of divine pressure cascading down upon the ranks of both majestic empires, a tangible reminder that the game was far from over, and that under the guise of peace, his might was yet unchallenged. The garden, once serene, now roared with the fury of immortals, each breath of wind carrying the scent of fire and water, the clash of heavenly powers echoing across the land. And amid it all stood Ling Han, defiant, the Alchemy Emperor, whose legend would only grow from the ashes of this battle. Boom! A tempest of saintly energy erupted across the battlefield, rolling through the skies and shaking the very earth beneath. Waves of power, fierce and unrelenting, tore through the air, leaving all who witnessed it trembling. The Eternity Sky Emperor and Jade Drop Emperor both stood drenched in cold sweat, their hearts gripped by an undeniable dread. They knew, in that moment, that if the notionless saint willed it, their lives could be extinguished without ceremony, their bodies and souls scattered to the winds. No burial, no farewell. Only obliteration awaited them. Yet, even as they quivered, the notionless saint himself was sweating. His aura now was nothing more than a guise, a mask of intimidation meant to cow his adversaries. If he failed, he feared, he might terrify himself into oblivion. But fear alone was not a lasting solution. Mere intimidation could not hold indefinitely. Action, subtle yet decisive, was necessary to preserve this precarious ruse. A spark of resolve flashed in his eyes. "To meet in this life is fate," he declared, voice calm, yet carrying the weight of authority. "Since you have all reached a threshold in your cultivation, allow this saint to offer guidance." A ripple of astonishment passed through the gathered elites, an eternal river tier sage lowering himself to teach them. It was a rare honor, a chance few would refuse. Though bewildered, pride and curiosity entwined in their hearts. Little did they know that the notionless saint's true rank was far lower, a Genesis tier saint whose combat edge had long faded, leaving only the brilliance of knowledge and experience. To learn from him, they would have paid any price, seized any secret, believing they could extract hidden arts from his mind. The notionless saint, indifferent to their silent awe, began his teachings. He traced the barriers that plagued heavenly body tier cultivators, detailing techniques and insights with the calm cadence of a master recounting ancient scrolls. One by one, the elites absorbed his words, drawn into the resonance of higher understanding. Even the Eternity Sky Emperor and Jade Drop Emperor could sense subtle currents in their cultivation, as though the next tier's Dao were whispering just beyond reach. He was a monk in the midst of disciples, a beacon of enlightenment spreading wisdom to those willing to listen. Qiu Shui and her companions, unable to resist the gravity of his presence, drifted closer, their curiosity leading them silently. Ling Han observed quietly, admiration curling in his chest. Truly, the notionless saint's skill in illusion and deception was remarkable. Had he not known better, Ling Han himself might have fallen prey to the same ruse. Days melded into nights, and nights into months. Heavenly body tier elites needed neither food nor drink. Their bodies drew sustenance directly from the surrounding spiritual qi. Time slipped away unnoticed as Point Star City fell entirely under the dominion of the two majestic empires. Soldiers of the chaotic star's majestic empire either perished or fled, leaving the city silent. Yet the elites remained untroubled, ensnared in the saint's teachings. What seemed like mere moments had stretched into 3 years, yet in their minds, the saint's wisdom had been imparted for only an instant. Ling Han remained vigilant, undistracted by the charade. He had utilized this interval wisely, consuming exceptional talent black origin pills to enhance his cultivation, while keeping a careful watch over the Eternity Sky Emperor and his cohort. Every detail was noted, every motion anticipated. Then, a spark of doubt ignited. The Eternity Sky Emperor, after years of focused cultivation, realized no advancement had been gained. His mind, sharpened by suspicion, recognized the generosity as a possible deception. In a sudden, furious motion, he struck. Shua! Flames erupted like ancient gods in anger, twisting and dancing through the void. The notionless saint shrieked, panic overtaking him. "Brat, hurry and save me," he cried, his voice pale as death brushed near. His vengeance unfinished. He could not allow this to be the end. Swiftly, Ling Han reacted, seizing him and vanishing into the sanctuary of the Black Tower with a shoe, a movement so sudden it left the surrounding elites reeling. Awareness returned to them as they realized the miracle. The notionless saint had appeared from nowhere and disappeared just as swiftly. Their minds, caught in the riddle of his existence, screamed of trickery and impossibility. "Spatial god tool," they muttered in shock. Even a supreme elite had been frightened by the Eternity Sky Emperor's assault, yet evaded destruction. Suspicion brewed in every mind present. The Eternity Sky Emperor's cold chuckle betrayed his own irritation. "So we were nearly fooled," he muttered. Ling Han's laughter cut through the tension, sharp and scornful. "Fools have already fallen for the trick." Rage surged in the Jade Drop Emperor, who had only now comprehended the ploy. With a roar that shook mountains, he transformed. His body turned translucent, then expanded to a towering 3,000 meters, a torrent of flowing water bound in corporeal form. Dao manifestation had begun. His palm swept toward Ling Han, engulfing both him and the small mountain in a surge of destructive intent. The time for patience had ended. Victory demanded immediate action. Ling Han inhaled deeply, gathering his origin power, and mirrored the Jade Drop Emperor's transformation. Towering at 3,000 meters, his form solid and vast, he met the Emperor's strike with a mighty punch. Pang! The collision reverberated like crashing meteors, yet even with Tide of the Ages unleashed, he was hurled earthward, overmatched by the Emperor's sheer force. The Eternity Sky Emperor seized the moment, striking Ling Han while he was vulnerable. Pang! Bones cracked, flesh shattered. Sounds of agony mingled with the roar of heaven itself. Ling Han endured, though mangled and bloodied, a testament to the chasm between their power. Survival alone was miraculous. Rising from the devastation, Ling Han summoned the indestructible true fluid. A single drop coursed through him, and his battered form healed with astonishing swiftness. Eyes blazing, voice ringing with divine authority, he declared, "I have said it once, and I shall say it again. None shall lay a finger on my wife." The battlefield trembled, the clash of titans far from over. Yet in this instant, Ling Han's indomitable will shone brighter than any storm or flame. The saga of saints and emperors continued, etched into the annals of martial legend.